y'all. Welcome back to Moments with Miss Amy. I am so glad you joined me. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about change and fear, and maybe a little bit about taking steps in your life that sometimes seem a little bit daunting. And y'all know I love my stories. So a few years back, a friend of mine made a decision to move across the country. There was no family over there. There were no friends over there. He was just going to go. And it was really crazy because during that time, as he was talking about it and he came to me and was sharing about it and stuff, at first I was just like, are you sure? I mean, like, that's kind of insane, like moving all the way over there with nobody there. Like, what if it doesn't work? But at the same time, it's like kind of exciting, right? To do something totally different, step out of the norm. And especially if you're really feeling in your heart of hearts, like this is something that you're being led to do, right? So, and what happened is as this is all going on, he kept getting like these little, I don't know. People would talk to him and they would just throw out a certain scripture. He would see something and it would have this scripture reference on it. And it just seemed like it was repeatedly being told to him. So I wanted to share that scripture reference and then kind of go into it a little bit more. So it was Joshua 1:9. Y'all know me, not only scripture, but I'm going to have it written down. So Joshua 1:9, have I not commanded you? Be strong and of good courage. Do not be afraid nor dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Upon seeing that all over and hearing it all over, it kind of became like a trademark verse between him and I, and something that he just really kept there in the forefront. And that scripture, that verse, kind of is one that is a great one to have to hold on to. And just remember that no matter where we go, no matter what we do, God is with us wherever we go. You can't get rid of him, y'all. He's like right there, okay? And so that being said, what in your life have you got that's maybe weighing on you? Something that it's time for you to step out and do and you haven't yet. Maybe something that could be really exciting, but at the same time, it can be very scary. For myself, stepping out and doing these videos, I really felt led to do it. But this is a big deal. This is something that takes time and effort and consistency. It's something that puts me in front of y'all no matter what I've got going on. And it's something that I have to be my true self on. And that can be really hard. With all that being said, I also have something here that Angela, friend of mine, on our book club last night, made this comment. I can find myself a victim of my own repetitive destruction cycle. And I got to tell you, between that and the fact of knowing that I will keep going through challenges until this lesson is learned of what I need to be able to do to go in the direction that I need to go, both of those things just really spoke to me right now because I find myself falling back into old habits of not making sure that I stay consistent with what I do, of not setting aside enough time to handle the things that I need to handle. And when that keeps happening, that's when I get reminded of that lesson of how important it is to structure my time and structure my schedule. And also to make sure that I actually know what my goals and my plans and my intentions are so that I can make sure that everything I do kind of holds up towards that to make sure it's taking me closer to my goal rather than further from my goal. So those are just some things I don't know. Maybe you don't have these kind of problems in your life, and you know what? If you don't, hey, good for you. But maybe you're more like me where you have the best intentions, but you seem to somehow keep slipping off into that destructive cycle, right? And not getting to where you really wanted to go. There's a really good book out there, and it's called Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. I love it. It's got little snippets just really short chapters that help to handle, for one, procrastination, which, we'll talk about another time. But with that, it also helps you to understand the importance of having a list, having a schedule, having a plan of what it is that you need to do, and then attacking it. And that's one of my biggest things, is learning that doing something consistently that I'm supposed to be doing, when I get myself doing it, it kind of just becomes a good habit, and it's not as much of a challenge. And that takes away a little bit of the fear, because remember, today's video was talking about the fear and the fear of change. So when my friend began to get himself moving towards where he was going across the country, he did a few different things. He made sure he knew ahead of time what needed to get done. Made sure he made those plans. He talked to his friends. He got things set up. Did what he needed to take action and to do it. I'm sure there were times that it was scary, but he focused on the end goal, the excitement of starting over in a new place. And that's key. That is so important. Look at your end goal. Keep it in front of you. Make sure that you know the steps that you're taking are going to get you to where you want to be. And that's vital. The fear comes in when you start to stumble, when you start to doubt, when you start to question. And when that fear comes in, it keeps you kind of immobilized, or at least it does for me. So having that vision of the oasis, of where I want to go, that can help me to overcome some of that fear, but it doesn't happen without action. My daughter Georgia and I were talking, and there's actually 3 different things: determination, determining what you want to do; action, taking that action and moving ahead, and having the right mindset. And those are all pivotal in achieving what it is we want. But they're also pivotal in helping to overcome fear. If you determine that you're going to be able to push through that fear, and you determine that you're going to move in a certain direction, and then you literally take that step, that next step, with that mindset of, I got this, I am going through this, and I am going to come out the other side a champion, a victor. And if you hold on to that, you will achieve that victory, because those are the things you need to do. Those are the steps that you need to take so that you can get from your current circumstance, from where you are, and that fear that's trying to hold you back to get to where you want to be. Determine what you're doing. Take action. Have the right mindset. Push through that fear. Quit staying in that repetitive cycle that's holding you back from what you want, because you're going to be somewhere anyway. Why not make it where you want it to be? Take the time to realize where you want to go, write it down, set your goal, and then actually take those steps and get there. I love the fact that affirmations are something that can help us to be able to keep in that step, keep in that path, keep going in the direction that we want. And this is an affirmation that my daughter shared with me, which I really thought kind of fit with this actual talk. Today is a beautiful day of opportunities. I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. I open myself to the universe and trust in the unfolding of my life. And that affirmation is from my daughter, Georgia. Now, I'm not sure where she got it, if she came up with it or if she read it out of somewhere. So no copyright infringements, y'all. This is just one that I have heard from someone else. But think about that. Think of the opportunities. If we just realize I'm where I need to be and watch my life unfold. Now, does that contradict what I just said about moving in a direction and seeing where you want to go and yet saying I'm right where I'm supposed to be? No, y'all know. Think about it. I'm right now on this path doing what I'm supposed to do to get towards my purpose, because my purpose is hanging there in front of me. I know what I want. And so as I go that direction and watch my life unfold around me, taking those steps, knowing that this is where I'm supposed to be, helps me on that path to get to where I'm headed for. So take this conversation that we've had here where I've spoke to you about all these different things about my friend and his moving. And oh, let me throw in a side note. Y'all, he moved and it was incredible. It is amazing. And so many amazing things have happened in his life because he stepped out and did what he was led to do. What all have I said in this conversation that stirred up something within you that's helped you to realize, you know what? I can overcome this fear. I can stop this destructive cycle. I can be on the path and know where it is I want to go. So take all of that, put it all together, and hey, get out there. Achieve what you want to achieve. Run for your goals. Change this world. Because that's what we're all being called to do. Don't forget, you are not alone. Remember, that scripture told us that God is with you wherever you go. So do what it is that your heart is leading you to do. Well, I hope today's video really spoke to you. And if it did, please click like. Also, make sure to subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell so you know when my next video drops. And thank you again so much for joining me for Moments with Miss Amy.